Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a teen's murder case gets a new timeline, the new date set. Plus, Governor Abbott proposes a constitutional amendment that could transform property taxes in Texas. And more than 1,000 job opportunities under one roof, the annual job fair connecting employers with local workers.
We've got some warm and windy weather. It's not going to feel much like November. In fact, it's going to feel kind of like August a little bit, as the overnights will be fairly warm. There's some stormy weather on the west coast. We'll see if we can try and get it over the Rockies and into our area. Talk about that coming up in a moment.
And President Trump draws a line between different types of immigration, saying foreign workers are essential. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. A judge set a new trial date for a Bloomington teen accused of murder. Lazon Jameril Thomas Norman was in court for a motion hearing this morning where his original trial date was canceled and moved to March of next year, with another hearing planned for February 18th. The 19-year-old is accused of shooting and killing 20-year-old Nathaniel Escobedo in October of 2024 in the Mission Valley area. Norman in jail without bond after previously being on probation for a weapons charge. Governor Greg Abbott promoted his property tax relief plan during a stop in Tyler today. Abbott said he wants to give Texans the chance to eliminate school property taxes altogether through a constitutional amendment. Abbott says his plan would also give voters more control, including the power to roll back tax hikes if enough people sign a petition. He's also proposing tighter limits, capping appraisal increases at 3% instead of 10%, and only allowing new appraisals every 5 years.
There's no reason for you to have to go through that appraisal process every single year. You get your appraisal, you protest it, all that kind of stuff, as opposed to having an appraisal given to you every year. That should be reduced to only one time every 5 years.
The governor was joined by several East Texas lawmakers while a group of protesters gathered outside. A big opportunity today for Victoria area veterans, transitioning service members, and families looking for work. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley has more on how the job fair is helping military members and their families, and he joins us now. Ray?
Yes, Shawna, if you were looking for a new job or just to change your careers, especially if you're a veteran, a local job fair was there to help. The 14th annual Red, White, and U job fair was at the Emerging Technology Complex. There were about 40 companies and organizations with over 1,000 job openings. Henry Guajardo, director of the Workforce Solutions of the Golden Crescent, tells us the job opportunities that really stood out to him at the fair.
Law enforcement. We have a lot of law enforcement employers here. In fact, we even have the Dallas Police Department here, San Antonio Sheriff's Department. So yeah, there's a lot of need for law enforcement.
I thought it'd be more job opportunities than I saw in here, but it's still a good turnout.
The Red, White, and U statewide hiring fair was sponsored by the Texas Workforce Commission, Workforce Solutions, and the Texas Medical Center as a way to connect transitioning service members, military spouses, National Guard, and veterans with employers. According to the Texas Workforce Commission, there's over 43,000 employed residents and more than 2,000 unemployed residents in Victoria County. The unemployment rate is at 4.9%, just above the state rate of 4.7%. Shawna?
All right, thank you, Ray. Well, if you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email with the information to staff@crossroadstoday.com. Well, a rare sight, the northern lights have been visible this far south. Mac, will the skies be clear enough tonight for a possible peek at it tonight if we're outside all the city lights?
I think first of all, it's extremely rare that we get northern lights this far south. number one. Number two, we do have a geomagnetic storm that's headed toward the Earth, number two. Number three, I think the skies will be clear enough for us to see whatever is coming down from up there. But more important for me is that we're going to be warm and windy as we get all through the weekend. And the storm that was on the West Coast, well, it's still there, but it doesn't look like it's moving in our direction. We'll talk more about your weather and northern lights coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Shawna.
Here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca Wave this week. With the upcoming holiday season, the Calhoun County Community Ministries Food Pantry is getting ready to help its community members with free turkeys and partnerships. Plus, a grand opening for Claret Crossing was held, celebrating the new subdivision located within Port Lavaca. To read these stories and more, go to portlavacawave.com. Well, this is the 43rd day of the government shutdown and could be the last if the short-term spending bill that passed through the Senate makes its way to President Trump's desk by the end of the night. ABC's Christian Cordero reports the House returned to Washington for the first time since early September to take up today's vote.
It's a full House on Capitol Hill for the first time in more than 50 days, with representatives voting on a short-term spending bill to reopen the government, a bill most Democrats do not support.
Let me first welcome House Republicans back to the Congress after their 7-week taxpayer-funded vacation.
House Speaker Mike Johnson blames Democrats in both chambers who repeatedly voted against the short-term spending bills.
They voted 15 times between the House and the Senate to close your government. And the Republicans tried every single day of the shutdown to open it. And we voted 15 times to do that. They have a lot to answer for.
The bill funds the government until the end of January, funds SNAP through September, reverses shutdown firings, and guarantees back pay for furloughed workers. But Democrats gained nothing in their fight to extend expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies, now sending health insurance premiums soaring.
I think the American people got a raw deal. 20 million Americans are going to see their premiums skyrocket. I don't think they like the fact that we didn't fight hard enough.
Once the president signs the bill, it will take some time to get the government fully back up and running, calling back more than 670,000 furloughed workers who went unpaid for more than a month. Members of Congress continued to get paid through the shutdown. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
President Trump is defending the need for skilled foreign workers, saying the U.S. simply does not have enough homegrown talent to fill certain jobs. In an interview with Fox News, he pushed back when told otherwise, insisting programs like the H-1B visa are still necessary, even with his tough stance on immigration. He also pointed out that applicants now have to pay a $100,000 fee under an executive order he signed back in September. President Trump is planning to allow new oil and gas drilling off California's coast, something that has not happened in about 40 years. According to the New York Times, the move could set up a showdown with California Governor Gavin Newsom, who's calling the plan dead on arrival and says the state will fight it in court. The Interior Department could announce the plan this week, but some analysts say energy companies might not be all that eager to drill there anyway. Back in Texas, inspectors are on the lookout for a dangerous parasite called the New World screwworm. It's a flesh-eating bug that could devastate the cattle industry. The larvae come from flies that lay eggs in open wounds, and they literally eat animals alive. Well, inspectors with the Texas Animal Health Commission are checking livestock along highways south of San Antonio after Mexico reported more than 800 cases. So far, no screwworms have been found in Texas, and inspections are happening about 80 miles north of the border just to be safe. Let's Grow Texas Ag is airing its 18th episode on KBCT on Monday. It'll air at 9:35 p.m. and then again on Sunday, November 30th at 5:30. Don't miss this look at the start of the cattle trails from Goliad State Park. And subscribe to our Crossroads Today YouTube channel, where you can watch previous episodes of Let's Grow Texas Ag, as well as our other news. Hit the like button and click the notification bell to receive alerts. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Doctors say the face of lung cancer is changing. We have one woman's story that is proving anyone can be at risk. Plus, romance scams cost Americans billions of dollars. One man's stolen photos show how easy it is to fool victims.
Smoke alarms save lives. But what if your child doesn't hear them? When seconds matter most, one question could change everything.
Smoke detectors are very, very important to have. They will save your life if they're maintained right, if they're installed correctly, and if, the batteries have been changed out like they're supposed to. They do save lives.
Join Trenton Whiting for Awake When It Matters, a 25 News Now Extra, Thursday night at 10.
Here are some of the top headlines in the Cuero record. Cuero Regional Hospital with a $50,000 gift to support the relocation and expansion of the hospital's laboratory and pharmacy departments. Plus, voter turnout in DeWitt County amounted to 16.6% of registered voters. That is over the estimated statewide rate of nearly 15%. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com. ByHeart is recalling all of its baby formula nationwide after at least 15 infants in 12 states were hospitalized with botulism since August. The company first recalled 2 batches over the weekend, but expanded it Tuesday to every product on store shelves and in homes, including ByHeart Whole Nutrition infant formula and Anywhere Pack pouches. No deaths have been reported, but the FDA urged the broader recall as cases rise. Health experts say parents should stop using any ByHeart formula immediately and contact their pediatrician if they have concerns. Every 2 minutes, someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with lung cancer, and experts say more cases are showing up in people who have never smoked or barely have. Many of them are younger, too. Mandy Gaither shares one mom's story and what could be driving this rise in non-smokers.
Christy Hooveris has conquered Mount Kilimanjaro, is 36 years old, lives an active life, doesn't smoke, and is in the prime of her life with a husband and 2 young children. So you can imagine her shock when 4 months ago she was diagnosed with lung cancer.
This is a joke, right? Like, I don't have lung cancer. There's no way.
Hooveris says even the doctors didn't believe it, but after feeling chest pain, multiple tests were ordered, and she says a mass was detected in her upper right lobe.
When I got the PET scan done, that spot lit up like a Christmas tree.
Unfortunately, the face of lung cancer is changing.
Dr. Ioana Bayou with the Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center says right now only people ages 50 to 80 with a smoking history are recommended to be screened for lung cancer. But the disease can be caused by several factors, including environmental exposures to things like radon, asbestos, and air pollution. Genetics, having a family history, or certain gene mutations also raises the risk, as does breathing in secondhand smoke.
As a patient, you know your body better than anybody else, and so you deserve a thorough investigation if you have any symptoms that you're concerned about.
Through surgery, Bayou was able to remove all of Hooveris's cancer and part of her lung. And since the disease was detected early, she didn't need chemotherapy, immunotherapy, or radiation.
I'm at full recovery. I'm back to picking up my kids and doing all the fun stuff.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
As she believes her lung cancer may have stemmed from radon exposure when she was a child. That experience pushed her to test her current home. And sure enough, the levels were high. She has since installed a radon mitigation system to keep her family safe. To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Well, a Houston area school officials there are clearing up rumors after a social media post showed what looked like Bel Air High School on fire. But it turns out that image was an AI generated photo. The Bel Air Fire Department did respond earlier Monday to a fire alarm at the school. Crews arrived to find no visible signs of smoke or flames. After a quick check inside, firefighters found a small amount of smoke near a locker area caused by a refrigerant leak in the school's HVAC system, so no fire. Officials say the campus is safe and the viral image is not real. Shows you how easy it is to put those fake images out there. We turn now to romance scams online. Imagine someone making a fake social media profile using your pictures. Well, now imagine that happening over and over again for 15 years. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the story of a California man who says that's been his reality.
This is so rampant, not just with my photos, but with other people too.
When California fitness trainer Scott Cole scrolls through social media,
this was me in France.
The 63-year-old says he often sees his own profile photo being used in bogus profiles.
Waterford, Ireland.
Cole says this has been happening for more than a decade on multiple sites.
Here my likeness was being used to do something really awful.
Cole's one of thousands of Americans affected by online romance scams. The FBI reports $50 billion in losses from similar schemes between 2020 and 2024.
There are a number of people that I've talked to directly whose images are being used to lure in unsuspecting people.
One of those people fooled by a Cole impersonator was Jennifer Lisa.
I was skeptical in the beginning, but his profile was very, very large.
Soon, Lisa built an online relationship with the imposter using Cole's photos. But when the man said he needed money in connection with his job, she got suspicious. She did a reverse image search online and realized someone was pretending to be Cole.
There really is no end in sight for someone like him, because the people who have the power to make this stop are not going to make it stop.
After ABC News reached out to TikTok, it took down 4 fraudulent profiles using Cole's photos. LinkedIn told us it proactively detects and removes fake accounts. Meta did not get back to us.
I'd love for technology to catch up and help stop this from going on.
Victor Oquendo, ABC News, New York.
Bumblebees can apparently process time. Researchers released a new study showing bumblebees can measure how long a light flashes and then use that to find food. The bees learned to fly toward a short flash that led to something sweet. The insects were able to repeat the task even without food present, proving they remembered the timing and have flexible learning capabilities. The scientists also say it's the first evidence that insects can process duration like humans and birds. The Mega Millions jackpot is inching closer to $1 billion after no one matched all 6 numbers in Tuesday's drawing. The jackpot is now $965 million. Estimated cash payout is $445 million. The next drawing will be Friday. And in case you're wondering, the odds of winning the jackpot on Friday are 1 in 290.5 million. And Mac, I guess that means that your ticket that you went out and bought last night was not the lucky one.
I still have them in my pocket. I haven't checked them yet.
You might win $5 on it. You never know.
That would be something. I wanted the 400 million, but I'll take the $5. Interesting stuff. Well, folks, interesting stuff for us is that we have a potential of seeing the northern lights in Texas tonight, and we'll be talking about that. Right now, we're looking at 77 degrees. We managed to get up to 83 today after getting down 49. Now, the 49 compares to the 33 we had the night before. So, yes, it's getting warmer, it's getting windier, and we'll be talking about the possibility of any kind of rain coming through here coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. A very unusual feature that for us in Texas that we don't normally get involved in this kind of stuff, but we have a strong geomagnetic storm now at level severe. All right. Last night when I was working here, I started seeing these notes coming in about, hey, we're seeing the northern lights in Abilene and then in Waco, and we're getting reports even in Austin, and we're going, that's kind of strange. Well, what happens is that we're right now at a G3, that's geomagnetic G3, and it's forecast to go to G4 tomorrow. So tonight, about 10 p.m. to about 2 a.m., we may be seeing some greenish glow in the northern portions of our viewing area up in the sky. So normally that happens, and the people in the Midwest know this all the time because it generally affects the, the Canadian prairies and the upper Midwest. But all of a sudden to see the northern lights in Texas, that's very strange. And here, like I said again, we're strong today, and it's forecast to get stronger tomorrow. So this is going to be a big story all over the place for the next couple of days because it's very unusual that we get this kind of activity. What happens is that, the sun is on fire, okay? And every day it blasts out what's called the solar wind, basically radiation. Okay, we get just a tiny sliver of it that actually makes it to the Earth, and then that interaction of the north-south and the magnetic flow is what causes that reaction in the atmosphere. But like I said, getting it down here is kind of weird. Now, we're on the warm and dry side, and you know me, I'm always looking for something. Big old high pressure on the West Coast is sort of keeping us blocked from all the storminess that's in the Pacific. This is a huge, big, cold storm right here. And it is, ordinarily you'd say, okay, it's coming toward us. No, I can't even say that because it's going to have to go up and then over our area, and it may miss us completely. So let's just say I'm hoping that some of this stuff actually starts to move toward us. What we'll have in the short term is a fairly gusty afternoon breeze. You probably noticed it today. You will definitely notice it tomorrow. We'll get the onshore wind blowing at about 15, 25 miles an hour. So it'll be definitely breezy coming up from the south, and it'll be warm, and you probably will perspire a little bit if you're going to be working outdoors. But that is the pattern all the way through the weekend. Now, overnight, we're getting down to only 60 degrees tonight, and you can see how between the water's edge and, maybe Victoria, that's where the mildest air is because of the Gulf of Mexico. And then we're looking for inland temperatures getting down into the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mid 80s and even upper 80s out west. So we can say goodbye to what was winter there for 2 days. Once again, I was showing you the Pacific coast, and here's the intense storm. When you see this kind of a popcorn looking pattern like that, or marbleized pattern, that is cold air, and that would be a wonderful storm to get it to come through. But then you see how everything's riding up and then over that big ridge, so that's kind of why we're stuck. So in the short term, we're looking for a pretty good looking day tomorrow. If you're going to be outdoors, looking Port Lavaca getting up to about 81, partly cloudy skies. Tonight, we'll go clear, but tomorrow afternoon, 84 in Cuero, and we're going to stay like that all the way through the weekend. And then Monday and hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday, got a slight chance of some little shower activity with the tail end of a weak cold front. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads a Day on your phone. Here's Shawna.
Still to come, after more than 2 centuries, an American icon disappears today. The end of an era for your pocket change. Here's a look at today's closing market numbers. The Dow rose 327 points. The S&P 500 had a bump of 4 points, and the Nasdaq dipped 62 points. The price of oil tanked by $2.66 to $58.38 per barrel. Target is cutting prices on about 3,000 items to help families stretch their budgets this holiday season. Starting this month, shoppers will see lower prices on things like hams, apples, pie crusts, and cold medicine. The retailer's also bringing back its Thanksgiving meal deal, promising dinner for under $5 a person and donating $500,000 to Feeding America to help families in need. Thursday is Starbucks' annual Red Cup Day, when customers can snag a free reusable red cup with any handcrafted holiday drink. But the giveaway could get a little complicated. Union members have voted to strike unless a contract deal is reached, with workers in at least 25 cities planning walkouts. The group says they're pushing for better pay and working conditions, and more locations could join in. McDonald's popular McRib sandwich is back, but there's a catch. It's only available at select locations. According to the McRib Locator website, some markets began selling the sandwich last week, and you'll have to travel to Refugio if you want to find one here in the Crossroads. It's unclear how long it will be on the menu. In addition, McDonald's Holiday Pie will return nationwide starting on November 14th. The penny is suffering the same fate as the dodo bird or the 8-track player. After 238 years, the U.S. Mint produced its last 1-cent coin today. Earlier this year, President Trump ordered the nation to stop making the penny, saying that each one cost nearly 4 cents to create. Other coins, including the nickel, dime, and quarter, will remain in circulation. Although the penny already seems obsolete to some consumers, its removal is causing problems for some merchants who will now have to round prices either up or down. And dropping the penny will create a greater need for nickels, which are a more expensive coin to mint. Well, good news for nature lovers. Texas researchers found how small changes can make a big difference for the migration of monarch butterflies. We'll take a look.
House Democrats release Jeffrey Epstein emails referencing Donald Trump, plus the House vote to end the shutdown, the concern about rising health care costs. World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
Well, each fall, millions of monarch butterflies fill Texas skies as they make their incredible 3,000-mile trip to Mexico. But their numbers have dropped more than 80% since 1990, and researchers at Texas A&M are working to change that. Scientists are mapping migration routes, studying wind patterns, and even testing flight diverters along highways to help keep the butterflies safe from traffic. Early tests show they have already cut monarch deaths in half in some areas. Researchers say small changes like adjusting roadside mowing schedules and protecting native wildflowers could make a big difference for monarchs and other pollinators that keep Texas ecosystems thriving. They've pretty much made their migration through Texas now at this point. Really early November is kind of the end of it, but
September for me is always the month, and they're all over North America. They fly through Texas. They go all the way to one state in Mexico, and they all pile up for the summer, for the winter there.
They're like honeybees, though. They're so important to keeping everything blooming. And
crucial, absolutely crucial. So, folks, for us, the warm and windy weather continues. As you can see, we'll be in the mid-80s for the next few days. Our only rain chance is a little bit early next week.
All right, I'll go back to the AC, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for 25 News Now at 6 in just 30 minutes.